like to introduce John Rees from the People's Assembly.
I've just been asked by the BBC, don't you think that all this discussion about austerity is out of date because so many experts are saying that it's failed and that the Tory government really won't be doing much more austerity? So I said to them, well, there's just been a survey released that says that 16 million people in this country have got less than £100 in the bank. Now when that changes, perhaps we'll decide that austerity's on the way out. I said to them, you know, real wages in this country have been declining for a decade. When they start rising, perhaps we'll say that austerity's over. When people see libraries being opened, not libraries being closed, perhaps we'll say that austerity's over. When we see 1 million council houses being built and not people having to live with their parents into their 20s and their 30s, perhaps we'll say that austerity's over. When we see a fully funded, non-privatised National Health Service, perhaps we'll say that austerity's over. When we see Theresa May scrap the segregated education policy that is grammar schools, perhaps we'll say that austerity's over. When every worker has the right to a stable, well-paid, unionised job, then we'll say austerity's over. But until then, the message is this. Theresa May, you weren't even elected by your own party, never mind a general election. If you're so confident that you're popular, call a general election now. Because I want to see Jeremy Corbyn smash you up at the polls. And until that happens, this movement will demonstrate and protest and strike until the Tories are driven from power. We've had 30 years of neoliberal economics under both New Labour and under the Tories. But that era is gone. When Jeremy Corbyn said at the Labour Party conference that we are going to build a socialism for the 21st century, I agree, that's what we have to do. Socialism in the 21st century. And I say to the right wing of the Labour Party, you wasted a summer. Nobody wanted that leadership contest. Jeremy Corbyn didn't want that leadership contest. You forced us to fight amongst ourselves when we should have been fighting the Tories. And I say this to Clive Lewis as well. Every pound spent on Trident, every pound spent paying for the NATO-imposed 2% of GDP arms budget, every pound spent on guns and weapons and bombs is a pound not spent on hospitals and schools and houses and decent wages. You're only there. You are only in the shadow cabinet because Jeremy Corbyn put you there. So start defending Jeremy Corbyn's policy on Trident and NATO and arms spending. So finally, just remember this. If there is to be socialism in the 21st century, it can only be based on the self-activity of working people, on strikes, on protests, on demonstrations, on your power to change the society around you. Socialism isn't a spectator sport, it's a participation sport. You can change the world around you. Do it.